Murdock College Science Research Program, MCSRP, is a program that was started back in 1991 by the Murdock Trust. The idea is to provide support for private liberal arts colleges who have established research programs to help them cement their research culture so that they can provide more research opportunities for students and faculty.
We really believe strongly that to teach science, you do science. It is better to teach someone the scientific process by walking them through that and have them do that and discover that, as opposed to reading it in a book or hearing it in a lecture. A number of students in my lab, this is to help them discover what they want to do.
I think it's giving me good practice with different types of microscopy techniques that I want to do, and I think that understanding it as an undergraduate and getting the opportunity to do so is really helpful and beneficial if you want to continue that.
When you do research, you start with a hypothesis. You're like, okay, this can happen. And then you have to put so much thought about it. So I just love the process of like looking for solutions and ways and trying it and then failing. And then once you get the answer, you're like, yes, did it. So basically this entire process makes you grow, and I think that's what I love about it.
I'm so grateful to have had the opportunity to start doing research after my freshman year of college. I don't think that's a very common thing at a lot of schools, or I'll say that to people and be like, wow, as a freshman? And it was just such a cool thing to be able to do and be involved in, and it gives me a better idea of what I want to do later, having had these opportunities so early. I think our research was successful. The other day, I was looking on Amazon. The product has 5-star reviews, and graphs that Dr. Mayer and I made were actually up on the Amazon site, and something that I wrote was part of the product description, so that was kind of cool to see.
I can't think of anything else I'd rather do with my time than to invest in educating students.
When you get one of these grants, it's like a lifeline. It gets you excited to move forward. You have hope for the future.
The first conference that was held back in the early 90s, there was probably about 40 or so attendees. Now, the number of attendees, we're expecting about 500 this year.
We're here at the Murdock Undergraduate Research Conference, and I have just been really impressed with all of the students that I have seen so far. This is an opportunity that I think a lot of people don't get until they go to graduate school.
It's quite a unique conference. There's really nothing like this anywhere in the United States.
A little bit about the research that I'm doing. I am helping to study the effects of antipsychotics on sleep. I've always known that I've wanted to help people and be of service to people, but by doing research, you're really at the core of it, at the forefront of these new discoveries. And that's kind of the most direct way to impact people's lives.
We are researching polygene chromosomes on Selenium arcticum.
We are researching the early life history of Olympia oysters within Fidalgo Bay, Washington.
We are researching peroxide content of secondary organic aerosols from biogenic sources.
We're researching cellular assays and element analysis on iChip platforms.
We're researching iodine in multi-phase systems.
I studied beer quality analysis this summer. The impact of doing student faculty-led research has opened a lot of doors for me, both academically and leadership-wise. The skills I learned in the lab and working with research are something I can carry into any academic field or grad school.
This summer, going into a research experience, I wasn't sure what to expect from it. I'm interested in being a clinician doctor. I wasn't sure about research. As I spent more time in the lab, I realized that research is something that I can see complementing a career in medicine. Going into the future, I'm excited to pursue not only a career in medicine as a clinician, but also as a researcher.
Well, first of all, I've completely fallen in love with research, and I thought I was much more of like, I want to be out in the field, but maybe developing policy towards conservation, and I've just completely fallen in love with doing field work and lab work and just research for the sake of research. So I would say that the biggest impact that it's had is that I want to go on to pursue my PhD.